that same balance of diet and exercise is still applicable to pregnant women.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And
And it's more important right after eating versus just like, oh, I exercised today. It's like, no, if you do it right after you eat, that's when it is the most beneficial, especially in pregnancy.
So like going for a walk after lunch, going for a walk after dinner. And what would you tell women who aren't in a climate right now where they can go outside and walk, take a walk or really be active outside just with the COVID-19 happening?
Yeah.
Suggestions as far as exercise or keeping, their body moving in their home?
Absolutely. There's so many online exercise options. I mean, I swear to goodness, almost every single fitness personality has an Instagram TV station that is like rocking and rolling with exercises. You can find anything online. You can find YouTube, like prenatal yoga. That would be good for you to do like a nice little flow after you eat, things like that. And that all can be done inside, walking in place, walking around the house, taking the stairs in the house. If you have anything like that, take a few laps around the house. If you're in the city and you live in an apartment complex, right? Because that's very like common for New Yorkers and people that live in New Jersey. Then you know what? You can walk up and down the hallway as long as nobody's around. There are usually like terraces that are available that you can go in and do some squats, some lunges, some toe taps, some like just up and down stretching type of stuff like that, just to kind of get your heart rate up for at least 20-30 minutes.
20-30 minutes. Okay. And if you're somebody that had a poor exercise habits before you got pregnant and then really in your first trimester stopped exercising, right, for whatever reason, but around this time need to start, you feel like you know when your body is like, oh my God, I'm craving like a good workout, right? And
Absolutely.
30 weeks pregnant by this point, and you're like, well, I can't do it. Like I haven't worked out at all. I'm gonna like pass out.
Right.
What do you say to them, and would you encourage them to pick up
prenatal yoga, because it's the easiest thing to transition into. And walking by default, everybody walks. I mean, unless you're wheelchair bound, you're walking, and I think it's important, just if you can at least get out and walk. If you can't go outside and walk because it's like full shutdown mode, then you need to be doing like high knees in the apartment, and getting your heart rate up.
So how about if you're in 34 weeks or around where my time? I mean, I feel huge. I feel like I can't do anything. I have so much pain, and I've had that pain around my hips and my groin, every area for 5 weeks now, right? Like it's really been stretching and growing, and there's like zero. I'm like, I do not want to sit and stretch. Like there's nothing about me that wants to do it, but I'm like, I know it would feel good.
Yeah.
But I also like taking a walk. Like I get back from the walk and I'm like, I'm in pain. Like my body is aching and stuff. What the heck would you say to me? Would you say keep going and pushing through it, or like?
I mean, I would, but I would also tell you to just be mindful of your aches and pains. I would really be about heating pads and icing certain areas. No heat to the actual belly itself, just because you don't want any heat around the baby, but like to your back, to your hips, to your legs. Do a really nice warm bath, not a hot bath, but a warm bath. And then when you get out of that, then try and do some stretching and see if that helps. Icy hot is good, things like that.
What's the difference between icing and heat? Like as far as like if you're having pain up along your ribs or around your thigh, like for me, because my body temperature is running so hot, I just want ice to cool me down. What's that difference as far as treating?
So ice is usually for inflammation, right? If something is like really inflamed, you want to ice it, versus if things are just hurting in general, heat does really well because it allows things to relax. So if things are tight, heat is good. But if things are tight, you don't want to like freeze something that's already tight because it makes it worse. You can even do an alternating heat and ice, and like 20 minutes heat, 20 minutes ice for, one of each a couple times a day to certain areas. And sometimes that's really helpful. You kind of just have to decide what works best. But if it feels like it's really tight, then heat is going to be the issue, versus if you're just like hurting, like as you walk, you feel it's almost like a grinding on something. then that's more of like an ice thing, because that you want to like dull it and release that inflammation there, and then you can put heat on top of that after the fact. And then, it's literally like the icy hot commercials. Icy to dull the pain, hot to relax it away. It's like you got to get rid of the pain first and then release it and then try stretching after that.